Magdalene, and somehow maybe we'll be able to tie the two of them in together. Beginning in verse 1 of John chapter 20 records these words. The first day of the week cometh Mary Magdalene early, when it was yet dark, unto the sepulchre, and seeth the stone taken away from the sepulchre. Then she runneth and cometh to Simon Peter and the other disciple whom Jesus loved. Let me stop here for a moment. Who wrote this book of John? Who is the disciple whom Jesus loved? I love the fact that he calls himself the one whom Jesus loved. It is wonderful when you enter into a place of relationship where your relationship begins to take precedence over your own name. And John said, it is not important that you know anything about me, save you know who loves me. And immediately he begins to let you know, I don't want you to be identified with who mama and daddy said I was. I don't want you to be identified with who I've been in the past. I want to be identified with a relationship I have acquired with this Jesus. You have got to learn, it's a sidetrack, but it's a good one. You have got to learn, if you are ever going to be effective, to shed the labels people would love to place on you. And we're as good at giving labels in church as anybody ever has been anywhere. Why is she the woman with the issue of blood? She spent more of her life without an issue of blood than she did with an issue of blood. Yet we label people by what they've been through rather than who they have become. Why is he a rich young ruler? In my opinion, he's a poor young slave. Because he might be young, but if he was rich, he would have possessed the opportunity that was created through the visitation of Jesus in his life. And we identify a man with a withered hand. Why isn't he the man that used to have a withered... We identify people by the things that they have been through, and you will always remain crippled from your purpose if you do not learn to shed the labels people would love to place on you. Because if some of you told the truth, you were not the most likely to succeed, you were not the most likely to be blessed, and you were certainly not the most likely to be anointed. But thank God that he wasn't looking for Eliab, he was looking for David. And he stepped over the top of everybody that had it all together and found somebody that would chase him with everything that was within them. John said, don't call me the beloved, don't call me the revelator, don't just applaud me for my accomplishments. Judge me on the basis of who I am connected to. Woo! And it almost sounds like arrogance. The one whom Jesus loved. It would not have surprised me if he would have called himself the one who loved Jesus. But he called himself the one whom Jesus loved. If I couldn't celebrate anything else this year at Christmas, I could throw myself a good old-fashioned party over the fact that Jesus loves me. I know it's old-fashioned and it's not deep, but I still get happy when I think about the love that God has shed abroad for me. And I might get a little old school and happy in here this morning, because I think in some of our efforts to be revelatory, in some of our efforts to be deep, and in some of our efforts to be impressive, we have missed some of the power that resides in the most profoundly simplistic concept you could ever embrace. Jesus loves you. Jesus loves me, this I know. If I didn't know anything else, this I know. If I wasn't certain of anything else, this I'm certain of. And it becomes a rock you can build on. It becomes a foundation you can stand on when you recognize you are loved by God. That just fires me up. If nothing else does, I'm glad I hop. But I don't hop because I'm Pentecostal. I don't dance because I'm charismatic. I dance when I stop for a moment and come to terms with the reality God is crazy about me. I don't know about you, but I know that I am not qualified in the natural to be loved by God, but I'm glad to be in Florida this morning and remind the devil the difference between me and you is God is crazy about me. That's my Christmas present. I open it every day. I don't have to wait till December the 25th. It messes the devil up when I remind him I'm loved. Let's read on, and I didn't mean to get so sidetracked, but that one whom Jesus loved stuff. It's not arrogance when you understand that John was not trying to pretend like Jesus didn't love anybody else. It's just that he did a greater job of taking advantage of what was available to everyone. God is no respecter of person. He didn't love John any more than he loved Peter or James or Andrew or Bartholomew or Matthew, Mark, Luke, or even that rich young ruler I spoke of earlier. The difference is John put himself in position to seize the opportunity to be associated with the love of God. The one whom Jesus loved. Let's look at the B clause of verse 2.